Bob helps Lofty load a set of new pipes for a ditch into Travis's trailer. Nobody knows that Pilchard is fast asleep inside the last pipe to be loaded. Bob thinks all is fine and tries to get Dizzy ready, but Dizzy is too busy listening to music through her headphones to hear Bob's repeated attempts to get her attention. Bob forcibly removes Dizzy's headphones and tells her and Scoop that it's time to get to work. All of them leave the building yard, while Muck and Rolly stay behind and play ball. When Wendy comes out with a bowl of cat food and looks for Pilchard, she asks Muck where Pilchard could be, but Muck does not know. Rolly believes that Pilchard would not have gone far. As Bob and his companions arrive on the scene, which is near Spud's field, Spud watches them from afar and starts fooling around. Lofty fears the troublesome Scarecrow, but Travis vouches for his friend, saying he only seeks fun. Dizzy teasingly calls Lofty a big softy, before Bob reminds the team that they have a job to do, and they all set to work. Back at the yard, Muck correctly assumes that Pilchard, unaware of Wendy's worry, may be asleep somewhere. Rolly thinks Wendy did not need to worry since Pilchard will come back when Pilchard comes back. Wendy peers into Bob's fireplace and up the chimney, only to get her face covered in soot. Meanwhile, Lofty slips in lowering Pilchard's pipe, swinging it back and forth and causing Pilchard to slide around inside. With Bob's help, Lofty recomposes himself and sets the pipe on the ground, preventing Pilchard from falling out. During Bob's lunch break, he gets a call from Wendy and mistakenly picks up a banana before realizing his mobile phone is still ringing. Once he answered, Wendy informs him of Pilchard's disappearance and asks if she happens to be with him. Bob glances around a bit and does not see Pilchard in the pipe he's resting against. Wendy hears a meow from Pilchard and asks if she woke Bob up from a nap, but Bob assumes it was one of his machines yawning after a late night. He then reassures Wendy that Pilchard will turn up when she is ready. Bob ends the tea break and reminds Lofty that he has a pipe to lay. From behind a bush, Spud overhears Lofty express relief that the Scarecrow is nowhere in sight and proceeds to scare the crane just as he starts lifting Pilchard's pipe. Bob scolds Spud for nearly causing an accident, so Spud apologizes to Bob and Lofty before leaving to go scare off some birds of Farmer Pickle's lettuces at Bob's command. Lofty finally being able to do his job, Pilchard gets up and jumps right out of the pipe and into Scoop's front bucket just before the pipe is placed in the ditch. Once the job is done, Bob, Scoop, Dizzy, and Lofty return home, none though was sure about Pilchard's whereabouts. After they pull in, a tearful Wendy perks up upon finding Pilchard inside Scoop's front bucket. Bob assumes that she must have been hiding. That night, Wendy tells Bob she has sorted out the bills and will put them in the post box on her way home. She says goodnight to both Bob and Pilchard, who are watching television, and passes by the sleeping machines as she takes her leave for the night.